YouTube, what is going on? Crowder here, and if you guys don't know who I am, I'm the head coach of Atlanta FaZe. I'm an ex-World Championship Pro Call of Duty player. I have Dark Matter, I have Nebula, and now we officially have Abyss Camo. And yes, I play Call of Duty way too much, but I am here today to give you guys the ultimate guide on how to get Abyss Camo as fast as possible. Whether it's eliminations, specials, or mastery challenges, I'm going to try and answer all of your questions on the fastest way on how to unlock all of those challenges. And if I do miss any of them, I stream live every morning at 7 a.m. Central on twitch.tv/Crowder or right here on this channel on this platform. So if you do have any questions on some of these challenges or anything of the sort, feel free to drop by and leave a chat and I will be able to answer you and help you out as much as I can. So with that being said, let's get into it. So starting this guide off with the first challenge that you need to do on every single weapon that you will be using, you have to go through these sets of challenges right here. And it's going to just be simple. Get 100 eliminations on basically every single gun other than I'm pretty sure melees and launchers, but you have to get 100 eliminations on every single gun, and then you go over to the specials. Now, every special challenge will be different per gun. The Jackal is get 10 hipfire kills and then 10 kills while moving. Those are pretty simple. And then you move on to the Gold Tiger, King's Ransom, Catalyst, and so on. So when you were doing this grind, you do not really want to play Battle Royale or Resurgence quads. Just the reason is that you have to actually go get your loadout in order to kind of accumulate those eliminations over and over again. And there's just a lot of wasted time using ground loot, and sometimes that can be nice if you're getting kills with that ground loot. But the game's end, you might die, you don't always respawn, and it's just not going to be the most efficient way. The best way to do it is going to be Plunder quads, especially if you're more of a skilled player. We are about to get into a game for you guys and show you exactly how to find the most enemies, try and give you some tips and tricks on getting kills, and just kind of having those games where you can get 20 to 40 to 60 kills in Plunder, especially if you're frying. And if you are not the most skilled player, there's also another tip and trick, of course, for you guys. It's going to be the Warzone Bootcamp. As of now, as this video is posted, this has not been patched. Every kill that you get in Warzone Bootcamp counts for eliminations, special challenges, so on and so forth. So if you're not the most skilled player, you can drop into the Warzone Bootcamp, which we will also show you kind of how to get your loadout and explain that a little bit more too. But those two are going to be your most efficient when it comes to getting these eliminations done. And also, I'm going to show you right now how to build your loadout properly for every gun that you're about to use. Drop in and show you how to get some kills. Let's go. So now there's two ways you can kind of go about this. You can use an overkill class, which is going to be the most efficient because you can always switch guns, or you can use your gunfighter and just absolutely stack your weapon. Now, if you use gunfighter, you'll make a good loadout. It's really not that hard. But if you want to kind of have the most efficient way, where you can kind of work on two guns at once, especially if you're not going to just be only running around with an assault rifle and people are kind of running up on you up close, you can switch to your SMG or your shotgun or your pistol and kind of make it work from there. So what I would like to do is use overkill here and then make your classes. Now I'm going to show you kind of how to build out your default SMG and your default main gun with just 5 attachments. If you guys don't know, when you're using an assault rifle, there's going to be two ways. Most assault rifles don't have the buffer weight stock option available. If it does, if you're using the LMG, which I'm pretty sure the XMG does, definitely use that attachment. Now, if you don't have that attachment on, what I like to run is basically the first 5. Your optic, which is going to be the 3 times, your compensator, your gain twist barrel, and then your underbarrel for the vertical foregrip, and then your extended mag. These 5 attachments are probably going to be the most important. It's going to suck that you don't have that rear grip and that stock or those fire mods, but you're going to be able to kind of get away with all of this. And the reason why I like to use gain twist barrel over some of the damage barrels in Warzone is because I feel like I get better bullet registration with gain twist, and you shoot a lot of people out of the sky. So having that bullet velocity is kind of nice too. It kind of puts it all the way up to that 1100. So most of my loadouts are going to look exactly like this when I'm using an assault rifle, an LMG, or anything of the sort. Even a marksman rifle, I use those first 5 attachments. And then if you're using your SMG, the default way I kind of build out my SMGs is going to be the same thing I have here, which is going to be the compensator, and then Ranger foregrip for the sprint speed and the movement speed. And then you're going to have extended mag, your ergonomic grip, and then your balanced stock or your infiltrator stock. That is going to be my favorite kind of 5 attachment build when I'm only using 5 attachments. If you're using gunfighter, obviously stack your gun. So that's going to basically be how I build most of my loadouts when I'm using overkill to be as efficient as I possibly can for these elims. And then for the tacticals, when you're going for only kills, I kind of like to use stim shots. You can use smoke grenades, and then your lethals don't really matter as much because you don't want to get too many lethals when you are going for these kills. You could use throwing knives if you want to get quicker finishes, but in general, I just use spring mines because I'm a rat, and if people try to flank my building or climb a ladder while I'm shooting people out of the sky, I usually use those. And then going to perk 1, I use Survivor. Perk 2, this is where you can be a little bit more creative. I play Plunder solo a lot, so I don't really use Tracker. If you're playing with a teammate and you guys are going for like kills together, Tracker is really good for those combat scout pings. You can use Sprinter as well, so you have that unlimited tack sprint. I like the quartermaster because I stay alive, or you're planning to stay alive a lot in Plunder, so you're constantly refreshing your attacks and your lethals, which is just kind of nice, especially when you're using stim. So I use quartermaster, survivor, and then for perk 3, when I'm playing Plunder, I like to use tempered just because it's very easy to kind of, you know, finesse and have that 2-plate ability. If you don't really like tempered, or you're really kind of relying on your UAV, or you're just not the most aware player and you want to see everything, bird's eye would be my other option. When it comes to recommending perks on the 3rd perk, you can use anything though. You can use Ghost, Resolute. A lot of this is going to be kind of your personal preference, but I was using tempered or bird's eye. And then once you have your class built out, it's time to drop into a Plunder. All right, so now we are in a Plunder game. I'm just going to give you a rundown of kind of how to find enemies in the fastest way. We're not going to play this one fully out, but of course I wanted to show you some tips and some tricks to kind of find enemies, because the best way to get eliminations is obviously knowing where the enemies are to eliminate, of course. So as we're dropping in, there's a couple of different methods you can do. I'm going to show you the first method, which is not as safe as it used to be because it's kind of a very known method. It is going to be the AFK strat, and that is going to give you usually 4 to 6 eliminations off of the rip pretty easily if you do it right. It's not always going to work out in your favor, but I do think it's always worth trying. So what that means is you're going to go all the way to the end of the circle and you're going to play for the AFKs. So the AFKs can drop like around there. So what I like to do is kind of either find some high ground like mountains up here, or a shack to land on to have a little bit more of a chance of staying alive and then shooting the AFKs that are left over. If you end up dropping right down on the AFKs, there's a good chance that you're going to die. So what I like to do is dive down first and look for anyone that's contesting me, and then go for the AFKs because you have to be alive. So I'm going to dive down. I'm going to look around, and I think we're in a pretty good spot here. So I'm going to get that kill. And now I'm just going to shoot as many of these guys as I can. Going to shoot the guy that is moving around because he's trying to contest me. Same thing with that guy. And now we already have a few eliminations to start with. And the best part about this challenge is if you are using this challenge for elims and not actual kills, I have 5 kills, but I have 7 elims. So that would be a quick 7 elims right off the start of this game to already kickstart your game. So that's a really good way to do it. Same thing again. Some people kind of come off a late. And now you're able to get easier kills right off the bat. And then, of course, loot them really quickly. Now, this is where you have a couple options of how you really want to approach this. But I definitely recommend trying that every single time. I think the biggest part is always kind of landing off to the side, looking for people that are doing the same thing as you are. And then, of course, trying to kill the AFKs when you can. So the biggest thing when you're playing Plunder now to find enemies, there's a couple ways. We're going to lay down right here. You need to get money to get UAVs. UAVs are the most important thing, and they're at all the buy stations. And the best way to get money is either by killing people and looting them, or doing contracts. If you're a really skilled player, or you really just have a teammate with you, or you're feeling confident, getting a most wanted contract and getting that money to get those UAVs is a way to get people to run at you, and obviously to have a good chance of, you know, running into more fights. Or you can do some other scavengers or intels or anything else that you want. If you don't want to do contracts, the next best thing is going to be by going to buy stations if you have the cash, and then looking at the minimap to find the most action. Now, if you're running around with no UAVs, the best way to do that is by this. If you look at the map, these red circles all over the map are going to be guaranteed action. Most wanted is going to be guaranteed action. And counter UAVs, that is also usually going to be guaranteed action. So that is the best way to have ideas of where you kind of want to go. So what I would do right now is I would go get a UAV, and we're in a red circle already. So we're going to get this UAV, and we're going to call this UAV. We're going to get another UAV, and then we're going to start going to the action of where people are. The best way to do this is by having faster travel by getting cars. But you can see there are people on my UAV right now, and we're going to be able to find ourselves some kills right away. So we're going to get into this vehicle, and we're going to start trying to get these kills as fast as possible. We see them on our mini-map, and the map is going to be your best friend. We're going to go try and get these kills here. So I'm going to switch seats. I'm going to lean out. If I get that kill, I'm going to hop out here, get the full, get some loot, do a little reload. My UAV ran out, so what am I going to do? I'm going to call another UAV. I'm going to see a guy above us right here. I'm going to go for this kill. And again, we have some options to obviously get these kills. So that's another one. We have another guy in our UAV here. I'm not in a good spot here, guys. I'm not in a good spot here. I'm going to try and fry this guy for you guys. This is for the video. There we go. We got that kill. But even having the awareness that that guy was over there because of the UAV is always going to help. But sometimes you're just going to have to slam people. Now, there is going to be some times as well where you do get lucky, where you just find a spot on the map that people are just all like rage landing on each other. But now that we found this, we got this guy. We got that kill. I pick up those vests, loot this guy up. And the same thing, that's probably going to be the only person in this circle at the moment because he had a lot of money, I would assume. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong, though. There we go. So now we don't see anybody, and a lot of the action's happening over this way. So we are going to take our car and try and get to this area of the map as fast as possible. Both guns are reloaded. We're going to chain this balloon, and we're going to go to that balloon. And then you can see that people are landing over here too. So you do have the option to also land on people that aren't there. So you can kind of do that as well as you're flying. And then the more people I see, I'm going to go to that balloon, to this balloon, and then I'm going to try and get to that balloon if I need to. But there are also people fighting over here on these red dots. So now that I have a bunch of people to shoot, I'm going to land here. And I'm going to be in the action again to obviously have a chance to get some more elims. So this guy's going to jump down. But now that we are in this area, we're going to see that there's a lot of people that we can fight over here, or we can fight other people. And then also, once you're on these rooftops too, you're going to hear a lot of parachute audio. No one look at those shots. Everyone close their eyes. You're going to have a lot of chances to get some kills here too. So you're going to be able to get this guy. I'm going to drop into this. Slide down this. Get those kills. There's a most wanted on the minimap again on me. Oh my god. He's chasing me. I'm popping my stim. We're zipping up. We see this guy. We get that kill. And now usually when you're in an area like this, a lot of people are going to rage land on you. So having the high ground is always going to be nice to get some of these kills this way. You have people landing on you kind of all over the place. And you can just go for these kills. So Plunder is going to be a pretty good way to be pretty efficient with Elims. And also, the best part about Elims is you don't actually have to get the kill. You just have to hurt them before they land. So shooting floaters is also a really good way to get free Elims. Sometimes people clean up the kills for you. And you can see right now, we already have 16 kills. Of course, we are fragging out right now, but the amount of people that I've seen to have 16 kills is the whole point of like my tips and tricks for you guys, is to be able to put yourself in action areas to keep doing this. So again, we're going to try and shoot this guy. If we can just hit him once. All right, so we hit that guy a couple times. Hopefully he dies and we get a nice free elim. If not, oh well. The last tip I'll show you when it comes to Plunder is get to this action, go to those red circles, go to those counter UAVs, find everybody that you need to find, get those UAVs as much as possible, and then when you can, use these balloons to pick and choose your fights to make sure you're retaking high ground. So right here, he's probably in that building. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to land right above this guy. Then I'm going to drop in. So this guy drop in. And that guy was camping a building, and then I end up taking his high ground again over and over again. So that's kind of the best way to get yourself some easier kills, is also by not just running at power positions over and over again. Now that this is over, I called this in on accident, but on the right side, we see a counter UAV. Now we have someone over there. Oh, someone's shooting at me. Hold up. Got to turn on that guy. We have a car over here on us this way. Get this guy as much as I can. We down that guy out of the car. Oh my gosh, we're kind of cooking right now. We're kind of cooking. Another guy coming from the sky. Oh, I'm getting sniped. I got to shield myself from that. Get that kill. Pop some plates. And as I was saying, there's going to be that counter UAV right there. There's some snipers. So we're going to go towards the counter UAV, but instead of just running into it aimlessly, we're going to use this balloon, and we're going to see if we can find ourselves any kills. We see a guy down there. We see a guy laying down up here. So what we're going to do, as I just said, we're going to land on top of his high ground, and we're going to get a really easy kill. And yeah, that's going to be the idea of Plunder, and you just kind of repeat these steps. You won't always have the best lobbies, and you won't always have the easiest lobbies. But the more you're on these rooftops and the more you take the position of these controls, you can see all these people that I'm putting bullets into are just a lot easier of kills if you kind of approach it right. So that is going to be it. We got 24 kills in a pretty solid time right there. If you're going for elims, this is the most efficient way. Now let's show you how to work Warzone Bootcamp and then continue on with this guide. And a quick disclaimer, I don't know exactly when I'm adding this one into the video, but a big mistake that I did when I was going for eliminations or this grind in general is really make sure you want to do the harder guns first. I know that's not as fun. I know it's very annoying, but I promise you, when you guys go over to the guns like the snipers and the SVD, this was probably my least favorite gun, or the AMR as well. I did skip launchers. It's just not a fun grind, and there's going to be challenges on these guns you're going to see right now. The special challenges are going to be like getting 2 kills while prone within 20 seconds. I promise you, if you save this gun for last and there's no other challenges that you can be doing while you're going for that challenge, you are going to be miserable, you're going to be raging, and you're not going to want to do this grind anymore. So I would recommend going for the eliminations on these kind of guns first. So therefore, every time you use some of the tips and tricks that we're going to show you in this video, you can kind of spawn in, do some of the methods that you can do. If they're not successful or you actually get one of them done, then you can kind of switch to another gun kind of like within the next game. So you want to do these passively as you can kind of have fun towards the end of this grind. So a little disclaimer, you'll see what I'm talking about more as you watch this guide. But yeah, just in general, I wish I kind of followed that format instead of doing the easy guns first, which I kind of made the mistake. Don't do the mistake that I made, and make it a little easier for yourself down the stretch. All right, so we are now loaded into a Warzone bootcamp, not the training course, the actual bootcamp game mode, and I am going to run you through just some simple tips on how to kind of play this mode, because there are a few different changes when it comes to the Warzone bootcamp. You are playing against some AI and some real players, and sometimes you'll have the unfortunate sweaty player here and there. It is what it is. But a lot of the times you play this, you'll be able to get a lot of really easy kills if you're not the most skilled player, or again, you're just casually playing, or you are just going for a gun that is really hard, like the SVD, shotguns, melees, so on and so forth. But what you want to do with this one is I don't really play for AFKs as much as you want to get as much money as you can, as fast as you can, and I think most wanteds are the best way to kind of get people to run at you in this game mode. Some of the AI bots run at you when you have a most wanted, so I like to kind of get a most wanted to get my money as fast as I possibly can. You pick up some ground loot, and once you pick up some ground loot in this game mode, you can kind of start going to work immediately if you get a gun that you know you have to kind of follow. So what I'm going to do is get as much as I possibly can here when it comes to ground loot, and you can see here a lot of these guys are going to be pretty easy kills. But the big thing when you're doing this and you're looting and going for all this money is make yourself kind of get close to a buy station. Now, this is the big thing with this game mode that kind of sucks, and the way around it is going to be what I show you. So there are some people shooting over there. We can kind of go for those. I'm going to tap that guy. I'm going to tap that guy. Hopefully, you know, one of them eventually kill each other. They're either bots or they're not they're actual AI bots or whatever it is. You can go run around and frag out if you have a ground loot gun, but if you're trying to get a specific gun right away, the best thing I would do is recommend is looting up, doing a most wanted, and then once you have enough money, there's two choices you have. You can go down here to a buy station, and not all of these buy stations are going to have a loadout, as you guys can see. So you can buy your loadout weapons from this. If you have a 5 attachment gun, you should be able to buy your weapons depending on like blueprints and other bugs in Call of Duty. Yeah. But again, you're going to be able to buy any weapon that you want. So if you want to buy a weapon like that, you could. If you don't want to do that and you really want to find your actual loadout because there's a certain gun that you really want to use, or you want to use a baseball bat, for example, because the bat is something that you have to get in your loadout and you actually can't buy that specifically. My best thing for you guys is what I would recommend is finding a car, finding your way to a buy station that has a loadout, because that is very possible, but it is complete random. They change every game. I'm pretty sure the only buy station in the game that is guaranteed to have a loadout box on it is the one on the train. I don't think any other ones have the same guarantee. That could be wrong. If you guys know any more info in the comments, I would love for the help. Of course, again, we are always here to help each other in these videos in this community. And this guy is now shooting at me. Get ourselves a nice little easy kill. You can see that. We're going to go up there. We're going to look at this one. And this one's going to be also a buy station that unfortunately does not have a loadout. So this is kind of the pain of this. That's why I would recommend just doing one gun at a time here and not getting your loadout. If you really need to get your loadout for the bat or something that you just absolutely need it for, your best bet is, again, just going to be trying to test as many buy stations as possible. But you can see right here, like, I'm not even, like, I'm talking to you guys. I'm barely even locked in, and I'm just getting the easiest kills ever. So when you need to get some harder challenges done, I definitely recommend trying this one out. Or if you just need easier kills and you're not the best player, you have a very good chance of getting a lot of free eliminations until they patch this. I really hope they don't patch this. I know this didn't work in the beginning of the game, but lately it's been working and it's been tracking. I did this live on stream for a lot of people that watch, and yeah, that's going to be Warzone Bootcamp in a nutshell. I kind of want to try and find you guys a quick buy station that definitely has the loadout, but we're going to see if we can get lucky real quick. And here we get to this buy station right here, and you can see you are able to buy a loadout marker. And once you find that you kind of get lucky, you get the good RNG in your favor, you now have a loadout. You could drop your loadout down, and that is the way you get your loadout. And then after this, again, you have plenty of time to go and find some kills. And you probably can get anywhere from like 10 to 20 eliminations, depending on how efficient you are. And again, I can go kind of grab the baseball bat if I wanted to. I have an overkill class, and now I can go get kills with the bat if I really need to, which actually, funny enough, I still need to get this bat Abyss Camo because I don't have all 33 as I'm recording this. I'm pretty sure we're at 20 Abyss Camos done. So if I wanted to run around right now and get a 5-kill streak one time, I can unlock Abyss. Oh my god, they're all fighting. They're all fighting. We're gonna throw a shock charge. We're beating them up. What's up? Dead. And there you go. I died. But That is Warzone Bootcamp. Those are the 2 most efficient ways to get the basic challenge of Elims. Now let's move on to the fun stuff. So now that you know how to get all of your eliminations, eventually you're going to get to the point where you get to the 100 eliminations, and then you move on to the special challenges. Now, most of the special challenges are going to be pretty simple and not that hard, but there are some that are really annoying, some that are worded really weird, which makes you actually have to read them and not misread. And there are also some that say that you have to do something, but you actually have to do something else, and it doesn't make any sense, and Call of Duty is just stupid. So what we're going to do is kind of go through some of the harder challenges for you guys today to give you some tips and tricks on them. Starting off with this challenge right here. For the M4, it says 5 kills while under an enemy UAV. Now, that one did get fixed, thank God. It was a lot harder in the beginning of the Warzone game, but now it's just, you know, while you're under an enemy UAV. I'm going to show you some tips on how to do that. And then, of course, you're going to have to make sure you're doing some good reading as well, because I went through some pain here because I can't read myself. And the Gold Tiger one says get 5 eliminations while being a most wanted, right? That's pretty simple. If you go over to a gun like the C9 and you go to the special challenges, it says get 5 kills on a most wanted contract target with the C9. That means you have to kill most wanteds, not be a most wanted. I can't read and I messed that one up, and I'm sure some people that are watching this video also did the same. If not, don't make the same mistake as I did. And then, of course, you have a very similar challenge in Gold Tiger. And there is also challenges, though, where it's get 5 kills while being most wanted. And even though that's a special challenge, you have to kind of do the same thing for the Gold Tiger. I just feel like that's kind of lazy out of Call of Duty. But yeah, Call of Duty does no wrong, so probably not. But either way, make sure you are fully reading these challenges, because you can definitely read them wrong. And then some of them are going to actually say that you have to do the challenge. You're going to read the challenge right, but it's actually not going to mean exactly what they mean. But for now, let's give you some tips and tricks on how to do the UAV and killing most wanteds. Let's go. All right, so we're going to talk about the most wanted contract one first, because the enemy UAV is going to be as simple as you have to get a kill while you're in a UAV, and you can't really control that without, you know, waiting for them to call a UAV, unless you buy UAVs at the buy station, and then hopefully they pick them up, or you throw care packages at people, and hopefully they get UAVs. But of course, that's kind of random. But a big thing that I was doing when I needed to get this contract done, I was kind of doing it passively while working on other guns. So I would have another gun out doing eliminations while I needed to do a special on another gun. But either way, what I would do is I would land into an area with a lot of most wanteds, which is basically right next to me. And instead of just landing into an area and going crazy, I would either land into an area, loot up, and hopefully get enough money for a UAV. But you don't really need a UAV, because all you need to do is have people pick up the most wanted. So now that we have a bunch of people over here, enemy most wanted target appeared. We're going to see that. We're going to go right to it. And now we know exactly what we need to do. There's a UAV, a most wanted in here, and that most wanted unfortunately died. So we're going to go back to our balloon, and now we see another most wanted over this way, and we're going to do the same thing. So kind of land in a hot spot near a balloon, so as soon as those most wanteds pop up, you know exactly what you need to do and go for those most wanteds. If you don't see them, or you're getting unlucky like I kind of am right now, you just got to keep doing what you're doing, and you'll be able to find more. And also, you see on your mini-map right now, if you are just like kind of going through this, you can see that there's always a most wanted on the top left right now, left and right. So if you kind of pull out where you want to go, you are going to be able to find some more most wanted. So you pull up this way, you see that one's that way, and then you can just kind of go from balloon to balloon towards these most wanted. So I'm going to pull out my C9. I'm going to get this way, and we're going to kind of go over towards this most wanted right here and hopefully get this kill. Now, there's also one other way you can do this, which I'm about to show you, and you can do it off the beginning of the games too. But you're going to see that this is our most wanted here. He's always got the flag. Any most wanted's always going to have the flag right here. You're going to see him. Gonna land on him, and boom, that's 1 out of 5. And then just like that, you kind of just find yourself to another balloon, and we're gonna do it all over again. So I'm gonna kind of get over here with this, and we see a most wanted on the right side of our screen. I don't know how far he's gonna be. He's pretty far, but we have another one on this way. And you're just gonna kind of keep doing the eliminations, tips, and tricks I was showing you of using these balloons and these fast travels to give yourself easier gunfights, but also kind of hunt down those most wanted. So let's go over to this most wanted. Where did he go? Looked like he either died, but we have another one on this side. So now we're going to keep using our mini-map to find more. Go to this balloon this way, and hopefully be able to get to this balloon and find ourselves another fight against the most wanted. Go, 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 go. So here we go. We have one more most wanted. We see the flag here. Again, we have a high ground on him. We're going to fast dive all the way to high ground, take some cover, turn around, and make sure we are getting those easier kills on those most wanted those most wanted contracts, and boom, we got 2. So now you kind of understand the idea of what we're working with right there. The next thing you can do to get most wanted contracts is pretty simple. I don't know if we'll be able to do it right now because I don't see too many most wanted. There's a most wanted contract right here. This also works a little bit easier off the beginning of the game, but you can also kind of go to those most wanteds off the rip. Let someone pick up a most wanted, kind of camp that contract, and just kill them as soon as they pick it up. So if I wanted to give you a good example of what I was talking about, what I would go over right now is kind of go to this area. We'd go to this most wanted contract, and what we would do is kind of just go in here and kind of just wait and be very patient. Now, this would be a lot better off the beginning of the game, but I hear some footsteps. Hold up. Unfortunately, this guy did not pick up that most wanted like we thought he was going to. And they pushed me, so I died. But yeah, you can kind of camp them. Hopefully people pick them up. It works a little bit better in the beginning of the game because a lot of people drop right on those. And then, yeah, that's how you do your most wanted. Yeah, there you go. And now the next thing that we're going to talk about for UAVs is on the top left right now. You see this mini-map. If there is no red bar around the mini-map, we are not on a UAV. So that means any kill is not going to count towards the being under an enemy UAV. So what you want to do is get a car or any kind of movement as much as possible, and you want to fly over areas with buy stations as much as possible because most of the time people are going to be at a buy station calling UAVs, and the best thing for yourself to do is just fly around, stay mobile until you find yourself in that UAV to do so. So we're just going to keep flying around right now. Usually around the construction area, I feel like I've gotten some pretty good luck, or just the town in general. I feel I've gotten a better chance of people UAV. And as I say that, you can see right now there is a UAV, that red bar around my minimap. We now know that there's a UAV up. We see some red dots over this way. We're going to immediately fly to them and get sniped out of the air by Killer J. Let's see this snipe. Let's see the snipe. Any fancy snipes here? Wow. Hey, back-to-back snipes out of the air. You got to tip that. Oh, I think I just saw him in that building. I'm pretty sure we just located him. I'm pretty sure we just located Killer J. We did. We're going to go here. We're going to take some shots. This guy over here to the left. Oh, man, that is so unlucky. That is so unlucky. We almost got 2 kills while being in the UAV. This is not an easy challenge for the exact reason, but you can see that's exactly how you're going to find your enemies and do it. So this one takes a little patience, but I definitely recommend fragging out with another gun on an overkill while you kind of wait. You don't want to waste too much time doing exactly what I just did in this video. So for moments like this, I don't see a UAV. What I would do is I would drop in, use my other gun, frag out, and then keep going from there. So now I'd pull out my C9 and either look for eliminations or whatever challenge I'm going for, and then keep going from that. So that's going to be the best way to kind of do 2 guns at the same time, and that's going to save you a lot of time. But that's all for those. Let's move on to the next one. So this gun right here on your screen is going to be the compact SMG, and you can see the special challenges here is going to be 5 point blank kills, which in Warzone with the amount of health that you have can be really annoying, and 5 kills shortly after sliding. And as I was mentioning earlier in this video, 5 kills shortly after sliding. When you read that, you probably think, okay, I have to slide and then get the kill shortly after my slide, so they die, right? That makes that, at least that's how I read that. Slide, get the kill shortly after that slide is over, or shortly after I hit that slide button. What that actually means is get 5 kills while sliding. It's a low blow medal. You're going for the low blow medal. I don't know, the wording of this is really weird. So I got about 10 kills in one game, thought I was done with that one after slides. I was not. It was absolute pain. So this one on the compact, or any other one that says 5 kills shortly after sliding, what they mean is the low blow medal. And since these ones are a little bit harder and a little bit more tedious or annoying, this is where you can use that Warzone Bootcamp. Let's go. So what you want to do while you're doing the shortly after sliding is getting those low blow medals. So you're going to see some people over here. You don't want to go for the kill right away, and that's why Warzone Bootcamp is nice. You want to be able to weaken them up, which hopefully I can chase this guy down. We got our first victim. We're going to run this way, go this way, and now we're going to crack this guy. We're going to crack this guy. Now we're going to pop the stim and then slide, and boom. That should be 1. I'm going to run away. Now you can see the Warzone Bootcamp guys. They're chasing me down. Going to make that guy weak. Didn't realize that guy had that. Gonna crack this guy here and then slide and kill. And you can see up there, low blow times 2. So that's gonna be 2 low blows right there. You need to do that 5 times. And that is the process that you have to do over and over again. I like popping the stim because you get a longer slide, which gives you kind of a chance for A, to avoid their bullets, and then B, be able to slide and get that kill. So if you pop this stim, you can kind of slide and just kind of get that little bit longer of a slide. And if you also want another tip, if you can kind of slide downhill or downstairs, you'll get a longer slide that way. So if you have someone weak down here, you can kind of hit this slide this way and then slide all the way down that and try to get that low blow too. Now for point blanks, it's going to be the same thing. You want to make sure people are weak too, and then obviously kind of slide into them or get into them as fast as... Pause. But yeah, get as close as you can to them so you can get that point blank as well. So we're going to go find some more enemies now. All right, we got a lander this way. We have found our target. So this guy is probably going to land on the ground. So I'm going to make sure he's weak here. I'm going to pop a stim. I'm going to get real close. And then there you go. That's going to be a point blank. And now if you do this in Bootcamp before they patch this, you can see that's the easiest way. That's going to be a little bit harder to do in Plunder, but at the end of the day, you might have to do that in Plunder too. The only other thing I would say, if you don't want to do the Bootcamp, or by the time you're watching this video, it kind of gets fixed. What I would do is find buildings with ladders, and then the best thing from there is kind of camp the ladders, so as they're coming up the ladders, you can kind of just spray them, and you're going to be guaranteed into close spots. Or when you're just in gunfights in general, you're going to want to make sure you pop those stims. You get as close as possible when you are pushing people as well. So that's going to be the Plunder strategy. And yeah, to be honest with you guys, I did most of my point blanks in the Warzone Bootcamp. A few of them in Plunder as well. I got lucky with some of the bot lobbies. And another thing you can do is you can do the AFK strat in Plunder for the point blanks too. You land with the AFKs and you try and get as many AFK kills as possible before someone else finishes you off. But those are those two challenges. Let's move on to some other ones. All right, we're back in Plunder in a different game right now, and we're going to talk about the next challenge. It's going to be the hot swap challenge, and what that is getting kills shortly after switching weapons. I ran into some issues. I think we just saw someone landed over there. But yeah, I ran into some issues with this challenge of it actually tracking. Because what I was doing is just running up to people and just swapping my weapons to my pistol and getting the kill. And for some reason in Call of Duty, it wasn't tracking. So what I recommend when you're doing this challenge is two things. First, shoot a bullet before you swap. So you're going to be like this. You're going to see a bullet, shoot bullets here, drop down, shoot that, and that should be a hot swap right there. One of the things that I was doing wrong is instead of shooting the bullets like I just did, I would just switch, swap, and go for it. And for some reason, it wasn't tracking because I guess it wasn't tracking that I was using a gun beforehand. And yeah, that didn't really help me out so much. So don't make those mistakes and make sure you're shooting a bullet in your primary and then swapping for the hot swap. That is tip number one with this to make it track. But tip number two, what I would do is you have to shoot a bullet, but you can also make them weak and then swap to it. So what I would do here, I would make him weak and then I would swap and then boom, get the kill. And that would be a hot swap right there too. So getting them weak with your gun or shooting a bullet at least and then switching is probably the best way. Honestly, the most efficient way is by shooting them with a bullet or two and then swapping to your gun and getting a hot swap. It's very simple, but yeah, for some reason when I was going into this, I was taking it way too literally. And I would just see this guy and I'd be like, all right. And then it wouldn't track and then I just feel stupid. So don't make that mistake. That one's simple. Now let's move on to the last two before we get to the gold, King's Ransom, Catalyst, and Abyss challenges. All right, for the last two challenges before we kind of get into our gold and Catalyst and King's Ransom and so on and so forth, challenges, we're going to be doing probably the most annoying one is going to be the special challenge for the snipers. It's not, you don't have to do the AMR because the AMR is not an original weapon, but this challenge is also on the SVD, which is also a pain in the ass to do. And it's going to be get 2 kills while prone 20 seconds 5 times. So to be completely honest, it's this challenge and getting kills without taking damage. That one's very self-explanatory. You have to get kills without taking damage. So basically, you want to get some high ground on people, catch people off guard, and we're going to go through a very light summary of what to do with that one. But when it comes to this one, it's going to be the main focus. Yeah, getting 2 kills while prone within 20 seconds is hell. There's no other way around it. So the big thing that I've already said in the intro of this video, kind of like just the idea of what I would recommend doing guns that are harder first when it comes to eliminations. So when you have the eliminations done with your snipers or your SVD or your AMR, you can be using a better gun for eliminations and other challenges while passively going for this one. Because this one is not going to be something you want to run around all game and go for 2 kills while lying down. You can also do this in Warzone Bootcamp because that is very doable. Finding 2 people in Warzone Bootcamp can sometimes be hard, but at the same time, you have a very good chance of running into an actual AI squad, lying down, and getting those prone kills too. So Bootcamp is step number 1, very simple. You can do it that way for sure. And if you don't want to do Bootcamp, I'm going to show you exactly what I would do passively as I'm working with other guns as well. So eventually you can kind of get this challenge done while working on other ones over like 5 or 6 games or 5 or 6 attempts. All right, so what I would do passively every single time I landed into a Plunder is have this class out for my first or second life and go for some prone kills the AFK way. And the AFK way is, of course, try and land off to the side and hopefully catch some AFKers while being able to do this challenge. So I'm going to land off to the side right now. We're going to land. We're going to look for the AFK. We see this guy, and we're just going to go for some pro kills as fast as we can. Unfortunately, we got shot in the back right there. That guy kind of went a little bit wider than us. I think he's doing the same exact thing we were doing in the sense he had the sniper in that back pocket. But either way, that's what I would do every single time I landed in. And then if I failed, what I would do is just switch guns and go for challenges on another gun, because doing it after that is honestly just really, really annoying. The only thing I would probably recommend outside of that, for the sake of any kind of tip or trick I can help you with, and if you already made the mistake by you only have to do this challenge that left, is I would go to a hot area of the map, which is going to be over here. I would chain my balloons, and you want to just get high ground with a sniper and try and third-party people. And then you want to just kind of play your distance. This is just going to take a lot of patience. This is the most annoying challenge that you can possibly do, and it's just not really fun. So that's why I really recommend the passive kind of way. Or just Bootcamp, because Bootcamp you have a very good chance of finding bots where you can actually lay down, take some shots, and they won't kill you. So we're going to lie down here. We're going to lie down and get that one kill, and then lie down. There you go. 2 prone kills within 20 seconds, and we're good to go. You just have to do that 5 times. It's going to be very hard, very annoying. A lot of luck that's going to have to go into that, and that's why I would probably do Bootcamp or the other way. But you see people here again, I would slide, drop shot, and go for these kills here. I got that guy weak. Got this guy weak, and probably not going to get this kill. I'm not. So it's not going to be easy, but that's what I would recommend doing for those. And now let's talk about kills without taking damage. I'm just going to switch to a regular gun because I'm pretty sure the PU actually has this challenge. If it doesn't, maybe it's the GPMG. But either way, every time you land in, kills without taking damage is assessing the kill that you can see. So we're in a hot area of the map right now. We don't want to take damage. So you have to land on people where you don't take too much damage. I'm going to land on the back side of this building right here. Land. I'm going to look over, and I'm going to get shot in the back. So this guy, though, hold up. We don't want to take damage here. I'm going to wait. I'm just going to kind of wait until I can get lucky enough to get these third-party kills. So this guy's on this head glitch. We're getting shot as well. So if I would go over this way, that's a third-party kill. Boom, that's a kill without taking damage. And it's the same thing over and over. You kind of just want to control areas where you're very safe and you can third party in a hotspot. So go to the hotspot of the map, find areas that are safe, and then also catching floaters out of the sky is like probably the easiest way to do it too. So if you're at a higher area of the map, you'll have a good chance of catching floaters too, which is also people that can't fight back. So I hear a ladder. That guy can't shoot me. That's an easy kill. There you go. That's going to be no damage taken from that guy. And you can see you're just kind of working it by just controlling a high ground of the map. This guy, another one that's not damaged. And the higher you get, the more floaters you have a chance of killing as well. So you go on like a building like that, you can really play it, and then you can kind of just go from there. See, fights like that right there, even though I just gunned that guy down, I took damage. So you don't want to take a lot of those fair fights because it's not going to be good. So you want to put yourself on places where you can really position yourself to third party and be really hard to hit. Kind of self-explanatory. But a lot of people in my stream are asking kind of how I got that challenge done. So, yeah, there it is for you. Now, that is every special challenge that I can think of right now that was pretty annoying for this guide. If I missed any, drop it in the comments below or help each other in the comments below. And, of course, if you have any questions for me, I stream every day on this channel and twitch.tv/Crowder if you guys have any questions about the grind while you're going for it. Now, let's move on to the next challenges. And now that we've talked about most of the special challenges that are probably going to need some help, we are going to move on to the mastery challenges. Now, if you look at the mastery challenges and you go to Gold Tiger, it's get 5 eliminations while being the most wanted. So this is what I was explaining earlier. This one, you just have to get eliminations while you were most wanted. So in the beginning of the games, you just land on a most wanted contract and you get some Elims while you were the most wanted. UAVs are your best friend. Basically, all the tips that I've given you in this video correlate straight to that one. So we don't have to go too crazy about that. And it's the same thing for this one. This one is 3 kills, actual kills, not eliminations, without dying 5 times. So that's just 3 kill streaks without dying, and you have to do that 5 times. This can be kind of annoying, but very straightforward, very simple. You just kind of have to frag out in some Plunder games or Warzone Bootcamp and just kind of go through each gun, one gun at a time. But when you get to this challenge right here, it is the Catalyst challenge, and you probably have noticed I didn't talk too much about the special challenge of being impaired by your tactical, because this one is a very similar challenge, and it is the most miserable challenge out of them all. And as I record this video, this challenge is absolutely bugged. It's been bugged since day one. I'm not expecting them to fix this anytime soon. If they do, obviously we'll be commenting down below that it's fixed, or if you guys have any better methods, make sure you guys are helping each other out in the comments. But this one is bugged, and I'm going to explain exactly how this works in this video for you guys to kind of help you understand how to get this one to track, the easiest way to actually perform this, and then of course just make it a little bit easier for you guys so you don't absolutely lose your mind like I did. Let's get into it. And when you are doing this challenge, I personally have found that shock charges are by far the easiest to make it track. You can do stun grenades and flashbangs, but honestly, I was having a really hard time getting the kill while they were impaired by the stun or the flash. You really don't have a long time to actually get this kill or that down while they're impaired, and that's why I think the shock charge is kind of the best, because it lasts the longest, and it's kind of easier to get the kills when they're actually shock charged most of the time. And then once you have your shock charges equipped, you just want to make sure that you have your wild card as battle ready, because you are going to be spawning in with a utility box, which just gives you instant access to more shock charges to replenish those, obviously, as you throw some more shock charges while your quartermaster is kind of just loading up. It basically just gives you more opportunities to have a chance of hitting the shock charge, because you're going to throw a lot of these, and I promise you, you're going to miss a lot too. I was missing a bunch of them, but having the utility box just made it a little bit easier. Okay, so as I'm loading into Plunder right now, I'm looking at the map. The AFK is going to be in the water. The water drop's not going to really be good for what we're going for, so I'm not going to do an AFK drop. Normally I would. But right now I'm just going to land towards a balloon and a most wanted, and hopefully I kind of catch someone slipping going for this most wanted, and then use the balloon to find some action. And then once we get to our first victim here, I will explain the bug, how it tracks, and how it works, and how I did it, of course. So here we go. We are going to be landing right here, looking for this kill, and we're going to now hit this guy with a shock charge. I'm going to try and get him to slide into me if I can. This guy is not the best player. Wow. We're going one more time here. So shock charge. You see it says shocked enemy. I got him while he was shocked, and I down him. If I get this kill, it just says elimination. What you're looking for... Pause 1 second. All right, so you guys saw that it only had the plus 100 elimination. It did not say finish shocked enemy, and that's what you need to get this to track if you want your shock charge challenge to go through. Now, why that happened is because that guy either had a self-revive or teammate, so you don't instantly get the kill as if he was a solo player. But if I land on someone... and I get a kill just like this guy. He's running away. Hold up. It says finish shocked enemy, although I did not finish the shocked enemy right there. So you can see that this guy's crashing out. You can see that it tracks basically every second kill, and that's how it's going to work. So if you kill someone while they are shocked, and it is a player that has self-revive or teammates, and they don't instantly go down as if they were a solo, it will track for the second kill. So we have an AFK player right here. So the same thing here. I'm gonna... oh, AFK. I lied. I was lied to. Not an AFK. Here we go. Boom. Shock. Kill. Enemy down. It's not gonna count again. It's gonna do a plus 100 elimination. My next kill is going to be the one that actually counts. I do not have to shock them. So I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna fight this player. They're landing down this way. And it says finish shocked enemy on the down. Now, if you let this guy get back up and you shock him again... I'm gonna try to. I don't think it's gonna work. Oh, shocked enemy. I might have got another finish shocked enemy right there. I actually did. So you can 2-for-1 it that way as well if you get lucky. That's obviously not always going to work. But that bug is going to be the way this challenge tracks. The best thing that you can do is find solos, or again, it kind of takes off the pressure of that next kill having the shock charge. So instead of running around the entire map and trying to shock charge everybody that you fight, and you just kind of losing full and crashing out just like that one guy did earlier, it's going to be a little bit easier to know that all you have to do is get a regular kill after you kind of do that shock charge kill once. Yes, it does double it up. It is annoying, but you can go in the boot camp, but just kind of shock charging the bots, and it's doing it over and over again. So same thing. We see someone over here. I'm going to try and do it one more time for the sake of the guide, baby. For the sake of the guide. We got a guide in here. Boom. Shocked him. And he's going to go down. And now I have no pressure for this next kill for one last time. We see this guy here. Oh my gosh. Trying to snipe me. We're going to challenge this from deep. And finish shocked enemy. Nice and easy. That is how this challenge works. And of course, when you get done with that challenge, you move on to the Abyss challenge. And this one is very simple as well. It's 5 kills without dying 2 times. You just have to frag out. If you got all the way to this part, I promise you, you can finish the rest. It's going to be some patience, UAVs, and every tips and tricks video that I've ever come out with. Use all of them in the beginning of this video to help you out, and you will have yourself Abyss in no time. Hopefully this guide helped you guys. If it did, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And yeah, as always, it's been your boy Crowder. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.